How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having the best day. Today, we're looking at how I was able to get over 24,000 from only hitting Builders Workshops in 3 different raids. So let's get into the first one and see what I'm using to take these bases out in 2 shots. On this one, we have a variation on the standard layout. They have a few different things moved around. They moved around the walls and the cannon. But we are going in with the graveyard spam strategy. Dropped 1 graveyard over the blast bow, 1 behind the giant cannon to distract, and the last one we dropped up top at the very northern giant cannon. So now we're just trying to set up the pathing so that the majority of the troops rotate around clockwise around the base. So we're destroying the defenses on the right hand side first and seeing if the troops go downward like we hoped they would. Now that they have decided which way they want to go, it is now just a matter of putting in the rest of the super wizards and sending in a ram every now and then to try and tank. We see here that the graveyard spell alone gets the blast bow, which is awesome. And a good thing to note with the graveyard spell is that this northern cannon only lost half its health. The skeletons from the graveyard spell do instantly die and get one-shotted with the giant cannons, in case you didn't know. But now we are just working on cleaning up the base. We have a few giants left, and a few of the super wizards are starting to get targeted by the single target defenses on the outside. But as you can see, we are well within what we always try and hope for. When using the graveyard spam strategy, you always want to aim for at least 35 to 45% of the base destroyed, with getting at least 1 or 2 of the major defenses. Gonna speed up here, just gonna clear a couple more trash buildings. And that last spear thrower goes down. Awesome. So now we've completely cleared the whole left side of the base. So now we only have to worry about the right side. Now here I'm not too worried about the graveyard spells for this giant cannon and multi-mortar, because we're using air. So it's mostly a way to try and get a little bit of extra bonus gold. Is that if, depending on how many troops you have alive at the end of the battle, you'll get that many housing space as extra gold. So here we're just trying to distract the air bombs at the back end as much as possible to try and sneak in the balloons. It is kind of crazy though that even with 3 graveyard spells, they cannot take out an air bombs on their own. The air skeletons are really only there for distracting purposes. However, we do get an easy cleanup attack since we took out over half the base on the first attack and walk away with 137 bonus gold. Next up is another Builder's Workshop. And we do it a little bit different. As you can see, we are using the army comp because this is the standard layout of the Builder's Workshop. And we're trying to get some practice in on one-shotting the base. The strategy is not my own. It's been floating around the different discords and the community. I believe the original person that made this was Logan. So big shout out to him. But here we are focusing on the hog portion. We set up the rage and the heal spell. Because last time I tried to do this, my hogs were only level 2. And I mistimed the giant, so all the hogs ended up dying in the heal spell. I believe we also upgraded our heal spell for this attempt too. So we're keeping an eye on them. Clearing the trash buildings, because we're going to try and send in a couple of rams to distract for that giant cannon. But so far it is going very, very well. I am quite surprised. I believe the only troop that is not on par is the skeleton barrels. And I believe we're going to try and upgrade those next as a clan. So those hogs are going to clear out that top section, which is awesome. It's exactly what they wanted. That's exactly what they were meant to do. So now we're focusing on practicing the bottom portion. And I messed up. I believe you're only supposed to drop one skeleton barrel to take out that section, and then you drop in one more to take out the multi-mortar. Because I think you're supposed to have one or two skeleton barrels for the blast bow. But we are getting very close to figuring it out. Unfortunately, I have not seen a standard layout for the Balloon Lagoon, so I haven't been able to try that out. And I have not yet tried the one-shot for the Golem Quarry. Definitely been trying to plan for the Builder's Workshop, as it is one of my favorite bases to hit. See, all we have left is the one Barbarian. There was no use using it where you're supposed to. I believe you're supposed to use it on this corner of the deployment zone, so it takes out a giant bomb and a log launcher. But just in that one attack, we picked up 5,620. And if I had deployed that Barbarian sooner, we probably could have gotten down the District Hall as well. It's kind of crazy. So now it is a super easy cleanup. We literally only have this one section of the base. Just going to distract with the balloon, have some die so that some of the air skeletons spawn, and then just send in the fortress and the rest of the balloons. And that is it. Yeah, the standard layouts are very, very simple to hit. Just the defenses are not in the optimal places. So last but not least, we have one more Builder's Workshop. And you'll see how we take that one out. A very different layout, but we are just focusing on this left side first, trying to pick up as much value as possible. The goal is to come in from this left side of the base, since it's more flat, meaning that if you attack from the river side, your troops will get funneled over the bridge in those two spots. So if you get a bad angle from the giant cannon, it'll just mow down all of your super wizards. So here we have a big group down south, and then sent in one group of 3 on the right hand side, make that 4, to try and clear that section out. From here, the District Hall is close enough to the giant cannon since they're touching on the diagonal. So we got some very nice chain value. And here we picked up 4,390 on the first attack. So now we are clearing out the right-hand side to open up the deployment, getting the skeletons ready with the graveyards. And so we're coming down, finishing up this left section so we can get the blast bow and the giant cannon out of the way. And now we've dropped down all of our super wizards and all of our giants, so now it's just a matter of sneaking in a couple of rams to help out. I dropped in one ram to open up the wall section and to sort of try and help out the top graveyard, but didn't really do a whole lot. So now everything is deployed except one ram, which we're going to try and use to pull the giant cannon's attention downward, which went perfectly. Then a couple more skeletons spawned, causing the giant cannon to turn backwards, so all of these super wizards were able to stay very, very healthy. And there you have it. Pick up an additional 165 bonus gold. So I hope this video was helpful. I decided to do the same base on one account for a couple of the different districts to hopefully give you guys some good chain value so you can check them all out in one spot instead of trying to mix and match on a whole bunch of different videos. So if you found this video helpful and you want to help me out, I welcome you to subscribe and hit the like button, and there should be a couple more videos on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.